My name is Dana Whitmore. I'm 34 and I live in Bismarck, North Dakota, a place where family ties are strong and expectations even stronger. It was 1 week before my sister's wedding, the one I had planned for the past 5 months. I was knee-deep in floral mock-ups and seating charts when I accidentally overheard my parents and my sister, Savannah, whispering in the sunroom, thinking I wasn't home. What I heard made my spine go cold. "We'll just have Dana watch the kids," my father, Raymond, said with casual authority, as if it had already been decided. "She's great with them," added my mother, Colleen, not even trying to mask the smugness in her voice. And then Savannah, in her sweet little bride-to-be tone, chuckled. 12 kids. She'll be fine. She doesn't have a real job anyway." I froze behind the kitchen doorway. 12 kids, during the entire wedding. Ceremony, reception, the whole day, babysitting. After months of unpaid planning, design, vendor wrangling, and emotional labor, I was being demoted to unpaid childcare. That's when something in me snapped. I didn't scream. I didn't cry. I quietly walked upstairs, opened my laptop, and began dismantling the wedding piece by piece. First, I canceled the $6,200 catering contract. Then I called the event rentals, linens, tables, lighting gone. The Pinterest-perfect decorations I'd spent hours crafting. Into the trunk of my car, then into the dumpster behind the local strip mall. The irony wasn't lost on me. Then, I booked a luxury suite at the most expensive hotel in downtown Bismarck for the entire weekend, with a river view. Before I go on, drop a comment with the city you're watching from. I want to know how far this story travels. And don't forget to like and subscribe. This one's about revenge, but not the kind you're expecting. The wedding was set in a picturesque park near the Missouri River. Savannah had dreamed of string lights and vintage lace runners. She dreamed. I delivered, or would have if they hadn't decided to use me like a disposable diaper. Friday night before the wedding, Savannah texted, "Can you get there by 7 a.m. tomorrow to set up the chairs?" I didn't respond. Saturday morning, I ordered room service. Belgian waffles, fresh berries, mimosas. I sipped champagne while the clock ticked toward chaos. 8:23 a.m., frantic call from Savannah. 9:01 a.m., voicemail from Mom. "Dana, where are you?" 9:15 a.m., a text from Dad. "This is unacceptable." I replied only once. To Savannah, "Don't wait for me and don't wait for the buffet." What happened next? Oh, it was glorious. Guests showed up to a barren field. No tables, no food, no floral arches. A dozen unsupervised children screamed and ran wild through the empty gazebo. A friend of Mom's later texted me. There were juice boxes spilled on the bride's dress. One kid locked himself in a porta potty. You made your point. But here's the twist. Savannah tried to play it off, smiling through clenched teeth, posing for photos next to an empty table, pretending everything was just fine. But the whispers started. A local gossip blogger even posted about it. "Whitmore wedding wreck, Bismarck's most botched big day." The fallout wasn't just emotional. Raymond had to fork over $3,000 for emergency sub-sandwiches delivered halfway through the reception from a gas station. Colleen's friends ghosted her from the bridge club, and Savannah's new in-laws, mortified. A week later, Savannah showed up at my door alone. "You ruined my wedding," she hissed. I sipped my tea. "No, Savannah, you ruined our relationship. I just gave it the send-off it deserved." But here's where the second twist comes in. That week, I launched my own business, Whitmore & Co. Event Design. I used my designs, my vision, and honestly, my rage as fuel. And I blew up fast. Local festivals, corporate retreats, even a feature in Dakota Monthly. Meanwhile, Savannah's marriage lasted 7 months. Turns out the groom was cheating. She moved back in with Mom and Dad, and me. I hired a full team, opened an office with floor-to-ceiling windows, and signed a contract for a luxury winter gala that pays triple what I used to make. When people ask me what finally pushed me to bet on myself, I smile and say, 12 kids, one overheard conversation, and the last time I ever let someone treat me like an afterthought. Let me know if you want part 2, the confrontation that happened when Savannah begged me to plan her second wedding. Oh yes, she had the audacity. It had been 9 months since the wedding that collapsed in a park. I hadn't spoken to Savannah, Raymond, or Colleen since. Not a word, not a message. My boundaries were firm and my life, flourishing. Until one Tuesday morning, While sipping a caramel latte and reviewing layouts for a corporate gala, my receptionist buzzed in. "Dana, there's a Savannah here to see you." I stared at the phone like it had grown legs. I hadn't heard her name in months, not since her hasty divorce made local headlines. Something about irreconcilable differences, and a suspicious Instagram story that showed her ex slow dancing with a bridesmaid in Cabo. Against my better judgment, I let her in. She looked thinner, like life had been chewing on her. Her once perfect curls were pulled into a frizzy bun, and she wore oversized sunglasses indoors. A dramatic entrance, of course. "I just need 5 minutes," she said, voice trembling. I didn't say a word, just motioned to the chair across from my desk. She sat, fidgeting, then dropped the bomb. "I'm engaged again to someone better. He respects me. He gets me. And I want you to plan the wedding." I blinked, once, twice. "You're joking," I said flatly. She shook her head. "Dana, you're the best. What happened last time was a disaster, but you're incredible. I was stupid. Please, this is my real chance." "I need your help," I laughed, not a chuckle, a full from the belly laugh. "Oh, Savannah, I will plan your wedding, but not the way you think." She looked confused, but I was already standing, grabbing a new client intake form. "Here's how this will go," I said calmly, my voice smooth as glass. "You want me, you pay, up front, full rate, no family discount, no late payments. Every detail goes through me and me only. And if you so much as whisper about me watching someone's kid, I walk." Her lips parted, stunned. She wasn't expecting professionalism. She was expecting forgiveness. And then I dropped the twist. "Oh, and it's going to be televised." Her brows furrowed. "You see, a producer from Dakota Bride saw what happened last year. They want to film a redemption wedding story. Your crash and burn went viral. People want a follow-up. They offered to pay triple my rate if you agree to be featured." Savannah went pale. "You mean everyone will see it? Every mistake, every meltdown, every flower you reject, all on camera." She hesitated. And then the vanity in her, the part that loved attention, won. "Fine, let's do it," she said, lifting her chin. And just like that, Savannah had signed her own exposure contract. Over the next 6 weeks, I planned every inch of her second wedding, under cameras, bright lights, and judgmental producers. Every temper tantrum she threw was caught on tape. Every diva moment went viral. She begged for lavender roses, they wilted in the sun. She demanded swans, they escaped into a neighbor's pond. She fired her makeup artist on live feed, only to end up blotchy and overcontoured in front of 3 million viewers. By week 5, people were calling her Bridezilla 2.0 online. The show became a national hit. But here's where it really gets juicy. Want to hear how I flipped the final wedding day in front of the entire world? The big day had finally arrived. Savannah's second wedding, the one she promised would redeem her image, was being filmed live for a national audience by Dakota Bride. The production budget was obscene. Her new fiancé, Rylan Chambers, was a real estate investor from Sioux Falls who looked great on camera but blinked too much when nervous. Red flag 1. We were at a lakeside estate just outside Bismarck. Rolling hills, white tents, imported orchids, a harpist flown in from Boston. Every detail was perfect because I made it perfect. And yet the mood, off. Savannah was spiraling. Her hair wasn't voluminous enough. The photographer wasn't catching her angles. The bridesmaids, all friends she'd acquired in the last 90 days, were bickering about who got to walk closest to the front. I watched from a distance, headset on, sipping my iced matcha. Then my assistant ran over, pale as linen. "You need to see this. Now." She handed me her phone, a live stream. Rylan was at a bar, 20 miles away, drinking with an ex. Someone in town had spotted him, recognized the tux, and started filming. The clip already had 60,000 views and rising. Savannah had no idea yet. The ceremony was supposed to start in 40 minutes. I walked into the bridal suite calmly. She turned mid-makeup. "Is the harpist late?" she barked. "I swear if he's not coming." She froze. "Who?" "Rylan." Then I turned the phone around and hit play. She watched, silent. At first, then, a shriek, a mirror crashing, her lipstick flying across the room like a bloody boomerang. "You knew," she screamed at me. "You planned this, you evil witch." I didn't flinch, just calmly pressed a button on my earpiece. "Camera 1, go live." On cue, the live stream cut to Savannah, smeared makeup, screaming, mascara tears painting her cheeks like war paint. The crew caught every frame, Every ounce of her cruelty. Every second of her self-destruction. I stepped outside the tent, handed a clipboard to my assistant and said, "Wrap it, it's over." Rylan never showed. The guests left quietly, some still holding their party favors, little jars of lavender honey that Savannah insisted on labeling herself, and misspelled lavender on 150 of them. Dakota Bride aired it as a two-part special, The Wedding That Wasn't. It became their highest-rated episode in franchise history, and me, Whitmore & Co. tripled in clients. I was asked to consult on 3 new bridal reality shows. I even gave a TEDx talk, reclaiming yourself after they use you. Savannah, meanwhile, disappeared from social media for a year. Rumor is she moved to Montana under a different last name. And Rylan. Let's just say the ex posted a new baby bump 2 months later. They got what they deserved. And I didn't have to lift a finger. I just let them self-destruct in high definition. It was a warm October morning in Bismarck. One of those rare crisp days where the sun is gentle and the air feels like forgiveness. It had been exactly a year since Savannah's second wedding imploded on live television. I was sitting at my favorite corner table in Maple and Grain Cafe, reviewing final touches for a winter gala my company was hosting for the state governor. A barista brought me my usual cinnamon chai, extra hot, with a note tucked under the cup. It read, "Can we talk?" I looked up. She was standing at the counter. Savannah, no cameras, no entourage, no lashes, contour, or high-drama wardrobe. Just jeans, a hoodie, and eyes that looked like they'd finally seen something real. I motioned to the empty seat. She sat down slowly, almost like she thought the chair might reject her. "I watched the TEDx talk," she said. "Twice." I raised an eyebrow. "You called me out without ever saying my name. But I heard it anyway." I didn't respond, let her sit in the silence. She reached into her bag and pulled out something small, a folded piece of cardstock, creased and weathered. "I found this last week," she whispered. "It's the seating chart you made for my first wedding, the one you color-coded, laminated, and hand-lettered. I kept it without realizing." She slid it across the table. "I thought I hated you," she said, voice barely above a whisper. "After the wedding, after the show. But the truth is, I hated that you didn't need us anymore, that you stopped letting us use you." Her hand trembled. "You were the only one in this family who gave, and we, me, mom, dad, we treated you like furniture. I don't expect forgiveness. I just needed to say it." I looked at the seating chart. It was the one I made when I still believed I was doing it for love, not out of obligation. "I'm not angry anymore," I said finally. "But I'm also not going back." Savannah nodded, slowly. "I wouldn't ask you to." She reached into her pocket again and pulled out a key. "I had it made in case you ever want to visit Mom's old lake cabin. It's empty now. Yours if you want it." Then she stood, gave me a sad smile, and left. I stared at that key for a long time, not because I needed a cabin, but because it was the first time she offered something without expecting anything back. And that's the final twist, isn't it? Sometimes the best revenge isn't destruction. It's evolution. It's building a life so full and solid that even your former betrayers come back, not for more of what you can give, but to finally give something back. I never used that key, but I kept it, just to remind myself how far I'd come. Thanks for sticking through my story. If you've ever had to walk away from people you love to protect your peace, drop a comment and tell me how you reclaimed yourself. Don't forget to subscribe. More real-life revenge stories are coming your way.